Okay, welcome back. So today I'm going to be working on a health system in C++. As you can see, I'm working the third person example project. Just press play. Just jump around. As you can see, we've got no health bar. We're basically invincible, so we're going to fix that today. So we'll just open up our C++ Visual Studio, because this is a Visual Studio, C++ project. So the first thing we need to do before we do anything is in our build.cs file, the C# one. Yours might have a different name. My game is literally just called game. You might have game or something else .build, but that's what we need. It's that string you see there, the UMG, because that's what we're going to be using. Some blueprint user widget stuff. So without that, things will not work. I'm only going over that because I forget it myself sometimes and can't understand why things don't compile. So once you've done that, then you can head over to your game header file. Now this header file is the third person one, so it's your main character one. I'm just going to declare a header here, the blueprint widget one, user widget. So this header file, the game character header file, is just the one that the third person character inherits from. So again, that might have a slightly different name to what I've got, but that's the one I'm using, just the default one. So we've got a blueprint user widget, that's what we're using. So just make sure you don't miss that. That's it. So heading down to the not protected, we'll go to the public, because we're going to expose this variable to a widget. So we're going to go U property, edit anywhere, so we can edit it anywhere, and that's a blueprint read write. So that basically means that we'll have full access to it in the blueprint, which is something that we're going to need to do. And we'll declare a float. You could declare an integer if you want, but I'm just going to declare a float. We'll call that player health. Player health. So I like my capitals. Wonderful. So that's our player health set up in our character header file. That's that done now. So the next thing we need to do is set up the actual widget that we're going to use for our character health. So again, we're going to go U property, edit anywhere, and then we need to set a category. I use the categories because it helps keep things organized, especially as your project gets a lot larger. So you'll see why we do this later on in the video. So we just need to set up the player health widget, the sub object of a user widget. There we are, because I'm lazy. We'll call this player underscore health widget class. We also need to set up the pointer to the widget as well. So it's being lazy, excuse me. It's a pointer to the player health widget. Lovely. So I've set up that now. We've got our player health and our player widget in our character header file, which is just again the default one. So we also need to set up, just fix anywhere, spelling properly. So we also need to fix, add the collision as well. So we'll get that done as well. So we'll set up a begin overlap event. I'm just trying to get the argument together. It's quite a long-winded argument. So it's a U function, and then on begin overlaps. So it's just what you do in the blueprint if you've done it before, but we just do it in C++. So it's on begin overlap. And now for the long-winded argument, which I always forget. If we had an argument, I'd remember that, but I always forget this one. Let's go with this. So U primitive component, here come. So the class of actor. We are being lazy again. That's right. Let's make it the line, because otherwise we're going to go off the screen. So in 32, of the other actor, capital. So like my capitals. Got the index, and then I think it's a bull. Okay, I'll fix that after. I think, yep. Just fix those little errors with those silly. There we are. And there we are. So sorry what took so long. It's just the argument's a lot, man. Right, so we've now set up a player health. We've set up our player widget class for our health, and we've also set up our collision. Now, sometimes Visual Studio is a little bit slow in terms of, so you got those green squiggly lines just there. Let's open up our CPP file. Actually, before I do that, let me just check something. So right click, I'm going to create a definition, so you have to type up all that again. Good God. Now, we've set up our collision here. I'm just going to change, just double check this argument, make sure it's correct. Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to change that to a lowercase b, some strange. So make sure you do that on the CPP file, it won't work. There we are. Right, so that's our collision setup, just about almost. Now just double check my headers, because these are really important, especially the capsule one, because depending on how your collision's already set up, or you might be doing something that's slightly different. I am running the collision through the capsule, and obviously you're going to need this later on as well, in case my gameplay static. So let me go into the constructor and declare the health value. So for the player health, I'm just going to set that to 100. So we've got 100 of health for the player. Now, for our collision, we're going to use a tag. So just using like a name, like a string name, that we can just attach to any actor really. So we'll say if other actor has a collides with has a hashtag with another actor, then we're gonna remove some health. Yeah. And we'll just set the string name. I'll just call it test for now. You can call it whatever you want, and obviously we can add multiple ones in here as well. And then we're just going to take off, say, 10 points of player health. Probably do the job. Yeah. But remember that name, because that's very important. Make sure it's spelled correctly, because we'll call that in the blueprint. So we'll just take off 10 points of health. And ta-da! Done. Right, so I think that's correct. So we've got test. There's 10 points of health. On begin overlap with test. Wonderful. Let's double check what we've got in our header file. Player health. Our widget. And then I'll begin on overlap function. So back in our CPP file, we've got our player health. We've also got our collision with the test object, which is just called test. No, not unclicked. I'm begin overlap. I'm going to add dynamic. That's weird, wasn't it? It's not giving me the. Never mind. Oh, IntelliSense is working against me today. There we are. So the dynamic's obviously this character. Now, obviously the name of my character is game character. Yours might be called something else character. So I'll just take that into account if you don't already know. Don't forget the and. So yeah, make sure that yours isn't the game character unless your game's called game as well. That's I'm begin overlap. And I think, yeah, that's it. So I think that's about it. Yep. Is there any errors as such? I think we're in the clear. Right. Yeah, I think we can do a compile now. Make sure you've got your UMG. Don't forget that. Got that. We've added all of our health, our widget, and our collision. Let's double check. Yeah. We can overlap our capsule. Yeah. Let's double check I'm recording. Don't make that mistake. Yeah, that's it now. So we can compile. Come on. And that's a win. I'll be back in a minute.